Matthew Judon, yesterday here at practice, appeared to have an issue and take issue with the front office by way of Matt Groh, as well as Eliot Wolf, and also exchanged some words with Jerod Mayo. And there's video of that. You've probably seen that by now. That has the appearances of Jerod Mayo asking Matthew Judon to leave. That happened first.
Yep.
That had the appearance of Jerod Mayo saying, if you're going to come out here and you're going to start laying on tackling dummies and you're out here just to play catch with the fans, don't make us look like jackasses. Why don't you hit the road? Why don't you just take a hike? We don't need this. And he left, comes back, goes toward Eliot Wolf, goes toward Matt Groh. Our very own Jim Louth was watching that conversation. He said Eliot Wolf said very little. Eliot Wolf did not speak very much in that convo. It was really a one-way conversation. Matthew Judon may have been blowing off some steam and giving his thoughts on his contract situation yesterday. First full day in pads, Matthew Judon checked out and got into it with the head coach and the GM. He said, I'm good, I'm not doing this, and now I'm going to beef with you guys on the field. That's what happened here yesterday. And so if he had been handling this professionally yesterday, that took a turn. Also, everything he has said leading up to this training camp was that he was going to show up and go to work. That has also changed. He is no longer showing up to go to work. Those are two things that have changed. Also this, his rhetoric has started to ramp up. It is not where it was a week ago when he spoke to the media, and I think we all agreed didn't take anybody on, was not combative, was a professional about it. His head coach backed up his right to say those things, and I don't think any issue really came of what he said last week. Now I think that has changed as well, because Matthew Judon made an appearance on a podcast that dropped just yesterday, and I got to get the name of this right. Give me the name one more time. Help me out.
Hold on, let me find it.
It's our guy, Mark in Georgetown. Who's blown up. He's an internet sensation. Where is it? I got to find the name of it. We'll find it. I want to give proper credit because they did a good job. Great job with this podcast. And it is Mark Lewis. What is the name of his podcast? Why is this escaping me? Let's just play it, and I'll get you the name. Here it is, Matthew Judon, talking about his situation.
I love football. I don't love the business of football. Like I said, I don't want to be the villain. I don't want to be the bad guy, but it's like, shoot, bro. Help me out. We got the most cap in the league right now, bro. And then with that, they don't even get the money. So what the hell are y'all doing with it? Y'all literally just not using it. Those guys have a tough decision. It's hard for them. It's hard to know who to give the money to, when to give the money to, where, how much. There's a lot of stuff that go along with that. But I wrote out my own contract and sent it to them. They just ain't responding.
Not
for real.
Ella said an offer has been submitted.
Yeah, I wrote my own. I don't do most of the talking to them. You know, they let me play football, and I got an agent. But that one thing I did do. I've been around this league a long enough time.
Was your agent like, what are you doing?
The thing is, my agent was like, bro, who wrote this for you? I was like, me, bro. Man, I was like, I wrote this. He was like, yeah, bro, when you're done, you can do this for a living. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either.
It is the Shut Up Mark podcast. Mark Lewis, great job. Great interview. He's got Judon in person on the podcast, and Judon goes right at them saying, they've got the cap space. What are you going to do with it? He's now talking about their cap space and how they should spend it on him since they have it. And I think that now takes it to a new level with the back and forth between the player and the front office. Zoe's with us now. Things have changed a little bit here. And I think the bigger question is everything that is now kind of escalated between the team and Judon over the last week. Has that only escalated for one reason, and that is the atmosphere and the culture that Jerod Mayo has set up for this team, which is very different from Bill Belichick. We're going to do this with everything this year. How does this compare to when Bill was here? We're going to be doing that probably for years. And it's the first thing that comes to mind with Mayo now being the head coach. Is Judon doing this yesterday because Mayo is the head coach? Because we said it on yesterday's show, there's no way Judon comes out and acts the way that he did yesterday if Bill is his head coach. In fact, we've seen him in previous years having this situation with the contract. It happened a year ago at this time, and he did not do the things he was doing yesterday. He was involved in his position group. He was in between the fields. He took a very serious sort of attitude toward the practice that he was not fully participating in. This is different, and I think it's all because of Mayo being the head coach.
Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick had a different role. When you were out at practice and physically there, you did not wear street clothes. Because the street clothes, it looks like you're shutting down. This is the same rule that applies on the sideline. When you're out of the game at halftime in the preseason, there will be many teams that take their pads off and then put their shirt back on to look cool because it's an indicator, I'm done. I'm not with the rest of the team. Here, you leave your pads on the whole time. Judon came out last year, silver pants, red undershirt, red jersey, helmet. Didn't do every drill, but moved with every drill within the defensive practice. This is what's different. It looks like he showed Mayo up. It's a bad look.
Mayo, though, to his credit, because I know a lot of people are going to criticize Mayo, and I'm criticizing Mayo because I think, obviously, however he's coached this team over the last several months, it's opened the door for what happened yesterday. He's not enough of an authoritarian down there to keep this thing in check and in line. But he immediately told the player, in my opinion, again, I don't know what was said, but it looked to me like he told Matthew Judon, get off my practice field. Only problem with that is Judon only respected the order for about 10 minutes and decided, you know what? I don't need to listen to him. I'm going right back out onto the practice field, and now I'm going to go with the GM.
And bring a phone out.
And make sure I have my phone in my hand to text my agent. Again, I'm assuming that's what he was doing with the phone. I don't know that for a fact.
Well, supposedly, he was looking at one of the stories, and this was around 12:30 when practice was still going on and liking it. With the one of the impressions of Judon, pay the guy. You're $55 million under the cap. Pay the man. You need him. He liked that. So it's like, who's the guy at the Red Sox that was sitting in the bathroom? Was that Pablo Sandoval?
Yeah, Sandoval, like an Instagram.
Pretty girls?
Yeah. Pretty girl in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't some of this fall on Eliot Wolf, though, too, putting Jerod Mayo in this position? Like, we knew we were going to be here with Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon was going to need a new contract. You're bringing in a disgruntled player, and, yeah, the rhetoric's changed over the last week because it's probably setting in for Judon that, you know what, we're not getting any movement on this contract. They're not going to pay me, and now I'm going to go show up the head coach. Like, putting your head coach in this position with this player to begin with was a mistake by the Patriots.
And it reminds us all that these guys are rookies.
Yep.
You got a rookie head coach who's never dealt with it. You've got a rookie GM that's never dealt with any of this. They don't know how to deal with it.
No.
And I think that was on full display for everybody here yesterday. They're inexperienced across the board.
I did think it was a good look to hold a meeting with the two uppers, meaning Matt Groh and Eliot Wolf, with his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. That's a bad look.
Drew Rosenhaus is not Judon's agent, though.
No, Gottschall, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's a bad look, too. So, like, double bad looks yesterday. Because that sets precedent. So if Jimmy Shapleckla, who's the fifth gunner down under punts, wants to have his agent in, can he? Or no, he's got to sit and stand.
I'm just looking around here. We're on the ramps. If you're coming to training camp,
I parked
this summer.
Today. It's great.
Yeah, maybe I should have done that. I got into a beef with a roadie from Metallica.
Oh, yeah, no. See this guy here in a white truck?
He had a spot reserved for someone else in the parking lot. That's for everybody. It's not just for Metallica. But he had it reserved for another roadie. And he put his cone up. I asked him if he owned the parking lot.
Those guys are nasty.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. He was not a nice fellow. Wow, it's windy today. We got a lot of room up here on these ramps. I'm thinking if Eliot Wolf needs to watch practice every day, I wouldn't do it down there for the time being. If Judon's going to be here every day. And so now we're on Judon watch to see if he's here in the building today, if he makes an appearance at this practice, if he tries to do the same thing he did yesterday. We now have to watch for all of this going into another day of practice. It's the second day in pads.
It's got to be down there.
And the team has all kinds of football problems between the white lines. Now they've got other issues that they've got to worry about in a practice going into another camp day today. And I think this is a result of Jerod Mayo. Jerod Mayo's being tested, so I'm not putting it all on him. This is like a kid who's testing the babysitter, right? How far are they going to let me go? The substitute teacher is in. What can we get away with today? Right?
Yeah.
How many paper footballs can I flick across the room?
So bring spitballs or not?
Yeah. I mean, that's what's going on. He's testing the substitute teacher. He's trying to figure out where he can go with this. And Jerod Mayo's being tested as a first-time head coach. He's challenging Jerod Mayo's authority is what Matthew Judon is doing. He's being disruptive. He's being disrespectful to his head coach. He's being disrespectful to his GM. And yesterday, with all of that was happening and them having to get into it and deal with him on the field, he was disrespectful to the guys that are out on the field with the pads on and practicing yesterday. I know Matthew Judon believes he deserves more money, but there are a lot of guys out there that won't ever come close to the money Matthew Judon has made in his career. And so to disrupt their day and their work, that's bullcrap. And they should be pissed at him. And so now the next question is, where do they go from here?
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.